Hey everybody, Eric here on Wednesday, October 6th. I believe I could look over here at the calendar, but I'm not going to bother. That means it's comic book day, and these are the comics that I had pulled, except for one. And I'm going to start with that one, because I have something special for the end. So I'm going to start. This is something I just pulled off the shelf, and this is the Wonder Woman 80th Anniversary Special. They've been doing this for a bunch of their characters. I don't have all of them because I'm not that bright and wasn't grabbing them when I should have been. But I have a few. I'm going to have to look for those others. But this is the Wonder Woman one. There were like 8 or 9 covers. It's just a bunch of different Wonder Woman stories that encompass her history. Lots of different writers and artists and things. And a nice retrospective, I suppose, of the character. And I liked this cover the best. And they're all really cool covers, and some of the the Golden Age cover is made to look like it was from the Golden Age, and etc. But I dug this one. So there you go. The Conjuring, The Lover, number 5. This is from DC. It is part of their horror line. This might be the last issue. I'm not 100% sure. I don't recall. As I've said before, the main story is okay. The backup stories are usually pretty good, and I love the fake ads. I really dig these covers. Excuse me. Are You Afraid of Darkseid? This is DC's quarterly special. They do a Christmas one, usually a Valentine's one, and then something for the summer. Sometimes it's beach or whatever. And then, of course, they always do a Halloween one. And this is the Halloween one. So again, it's just a bunch of different stories, bunch of different writers and artists. Just a one-shot, essentially. And I usually dig these, especially the Halloween ones, of course. And then we have Darkhold Alpha. And this is the first issue of this storyline. There's an Alpha, there's going to be an Omega, and then in between, just a bunch of one-shots featuring different characters. This was delayed. I believe it was supposed to be out last year. There's another cover for this one that has Scarlet Witch, but being a huge Doctor Doom fan, I went with this. And it has to do with, I think it's an alternate reality thing where something happens with the Darkhold, which is this book, super book of magic, dark magic. If you watched WandaVision, spoilers, the Darkhold is in that. But I think something happens in this that causes, I don't know, something, because all the one-shots seem to be variations on characters, or the character hasn't been varied, but their world has. They're trying to put things to right. I don't know, because I just got it, haven't read it, but I'm very excited about it. And then we have The Nice House on the Lake by Book 5. This is DC Black Label. The series has been fantastic so far. It's going to be 12 issues, so we're almost halfway through. Hey Kids Comics, Profits and Loss. Hey Kids Comics Volume 2, Profits and Loss. Issue 6, which I believe is the last issue. It's Howard Chaykin. Love that guy's stuff, so it'll be interesting to see how this series ends. Ooh, and there's something crazy on the back. We'll see. Lucky Devil number 3 from Cullen Bunn and Dark Horse. Oh, the Hey Kids Comics was from Image. By a guy in the first issue, he's possessed by a demon. They perform an exorcism, but somehow he's left with the demon's powers, which pisses the demon off. Very cool. So, there you go. Not sure how many issues this is. 4, maybe. This feels thin. Feels very thin. I don't know if it's thinner paper. Just, of all the comics I've shown you, this feels thinner than everything else. I don't know. Dark Ages, number 2 from Marvel. First issue of this was really cool. This is kind of I don't know where it fits in canon. Not that it matters to me, but some people care. But essentially, in the first issue, spoilers, I guess, there's this ancient evil that they have to fight. There's this massive EMP that wipes out all electricity, as an EMP will do. And so by the end of the first issue, I think it's years later, and electricity has not returned. So I'm assuming no technology has returned. And so we've got some heroes gathered together to try to put the world to rights, and then there's some bad guys, and there's sort of a mix. Like, these people used to be heroes, but now they're bad guys, and these people used to be bad guys, but now they're with the heroes. So, and I guess you can tell, I mean, it must be in the future. If that's actually Peter Parker, he's got some gray on the temples. So, but we'll see. And I think that's Valeria, probably. Although, would that be the Invisible Woman? She's got powers. I don't know. We'll see. But it was good. It was really good, the first issue. And this is, does it tell me? It's like a 6-issue miniseries. Defenders number 3. This is a, I believe, 6-issue miniseries. It's from Marvel. It's pretty good so far. I almost always like the Defenders. There was an iteration not long ago that was written by Brian Michael Bendis, who generally I like. But it was the Netflix Defenders, so it was all characters I love. Iron Fist, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, but it just didn't grab me. So they're going back to the classics with Doctor Strange, Silver Surfer. Instead of Hulk, you've got the Harpy, which is Betty Ross, who was Red She-Hulk, but now she's the Harpy. But anyway, it's cool. Cool stuff. Then from Vault, we have The Last Book You'll Ever Read, number 3. Another Cullen Bunn. He's always wonderful. And it's a crazy book, and I love that cover. And I don't know how many issues this series is. I always assume things like this are a limited series, but you never know. And then the last of the regular stuff. This is from DC Horror Line, and this is Soul Plumber. And this is by the guys that do the Last Podcast on the Left podcast. I don't listen. I hear it. A guy at work listens to it, so I hear it quite often. So I'm not super familiar with like who those guys are, their names and stuff. So this says concept: Marcus Parks, Henry Zebrowski, and Ben Kissel. Written by Marcus Parks and Henry Zebrowski. Ooh, John McCrae on pencils for some of it. That's cool. I like his stuff. So, yeah, this will be interesting, I think. Because when I hear Last Podcast on the Left, I dig it. I have their book that they put out. I haven't read it yet, but I have it. And so I think this is kind of cool. And this is just 6 issues. And DC's Horror Line has been pretty good. All right, that's it for the floppies. Now I got a couple big trade paperbacks. And this is not giving me credits on the back because I want to verify. That doesn't help. And that doesn't help. So let's... Oh, goodness. Yes, the excitement of watching me look through something because I want to verify some information. Come on. There it is. Yep. Okay. So this is Godzilla, World of Monsters. And this contains 3 Godzilla miniseries by IDW. And I just was verifying that one of them was written by Cullen Bunn. There he is again. But this has Gangsters and Goliaths. It's the one miniseries. Cataclysm. And then Oblivion. So those are the titles of the 3 miniseries that are all collected in here. I'm a huge Godzilla fan. Huge Cullen Bunn fan. This was a no-brainer. And it's big. But now we get to the piece de resistance. Something I've been waiting for. And you're going to notice that I have a, or maybe you won't, I have a bookmark in here. This is Killraven, Epic Collection, Volume 1. Warrior of the Worlds. There you go. There's the side. This collects Amazing Adventures 18 through 39, Marvel Team Up 45, and Marvel Graphic Novel number 7. This is the only volume. I mean, it says Volume 1, but it's going to be the only volume as far as I know, because this is basically the complete story. This says, right there, the complete Killraven sci-fi action opus. This was a book that I loved way back in the day. I used to have all of this stuff, except maybe the Marvel Team Up, but I had all the Marvel or Amazing Adventures. I had the graphic novel. This is basically a sequel to War of the Worlds. And I believe, I haven't read it in decades, but I believe essentially the Martians have won, and this is about sort of the human resistance. So I'm not sure how Marvel Team Up fits in. Must be a time travel thing, perhaps? But, excuse me. Yeah, so excited this is finally... I guess there was a Marvel Masterworks out, but I'm not a fan of that, how those books look. So, this is brand new. Very excited. Gonna go back and reread this. There's the back cover picture. But, if I haven't if I haven't already proven what a geek I am, I'm gonna take it up a notch. So within this book, as I remember it, I could be wrong, but as Killraven traveled around, he would go to places where he had not been yet, and there would be graffiti that said Killraven was here. So there you go. That's the easiest one that I could find. Hopefully there's more examples of that in here, or I'm completely wrong about what I remember. But Killraven was here, would pop up. So, I was attending Lorain County Community College when I was into this book. And I would sneak into empty classrooms all over the campus when I was just between classes or doing whatever. If I found an empty classroom, I would just sneak in and write Killraven was here on the chalkboard. And I did it so often, I did it enough that I would occasionally, it was rarely, but occasionally hear people talking about it. But I just did it because I thought it'd be funny, and it was in the comic book. So there you go. Anyway, that's it. This is the last thing I have to show you. My Killraven Epic Collection. I am stoked about this. All right, so my question for you is, and this might just be for like the hardcore comic book people, if there was one character that you could get in an epic collection, or an omnibus, or a complete collection, and I don't know why Marvel does two different things, but if there's one character you could get so that you could have the complete run, essentially. I couldn't choose between saying eventually and essentially. But you could have the complete run of that character. Every issue of their own comic, and almost every issue of, well, depending, other things they appeared in. Who would that be? Basically, all right, that's the question. What character would you want that for? My answer is a multiple answer, but I am working on all of this. So my first answer is, you can't see what I'm pointing at, Iron Man. Iron Man, for the longest time, was my absolute favorite character. I had a bunch of Tales of Suspense, which is what he first appeared in. I was only missing a few issues of those, including like his very first appearance I didn't have. But I was missing a few issues there, and then I had Iron Man Submariner #1, and there's only one of those, one issue, not one copy. And then from Iron Man 1 to 200, I was only missing 17 issues out of those 200 issues. All of that was gone when I sold my collection before going in the Air Force. And so since I don't have the money or the patience to try to hunt all of those issues down again, there's the Epic Collection. I have the first 4 volumes, which the first 2 are all the Tales of Suspense stuff. And possibly, I think it might have Submariner, Iron Man and Submariner #1, and possibly Iron Man #1, I'm not sure. And then the next 2 volumes start the Iron Man run. And there are other volumes out. Again, for some reason, Marvel doesn't put these things out in order. So, actually, I can look right here, because they always have these lists. Where's Iron Man's back here? So, Iron Man, you have volumes 1 through 4, which I have, but the next volume is 10, and then 11, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, and 20. And they didn't come out in that order. So I have 1 through 4. What I really want is at least up to issue 200 again. And I actually have to check and see what volumes like 10 and 11 have. But anyway, so that's my main answer, Iron Man, and I'm working on that. My secondary answer is The Question from DC, and they have been put out in trade paperback, the Denny O'Neil run. They've been put out in trade paperback, I think all of them, but they're difficult for me to find anyway. I have like volume 4, that's it. But according to my sources, which is just people on YouTube, they're putting out an omnibus edition, and I am absolutely going to be ordering that so that I can have The Question again. I love that character, and I want those issues. I absolutely loved it. So those are, I guess that's my Marvel and my DC answer. I have all 4 volumes of the Shang-Chi Master of Kung Fu omnibuses. I have the first volume of Moon Knight omnibus, and I already have volume 2 ordered. So there's some stuff there. And then I mentioned I don't know the difference between an Epic Collection and Complete Collection. I have the Complete Collection of Werewolf by Night. I don't know what makes that different than an Epic Collection. I have the Complete Collection, 4 volumes of Howard the Duck. I don't know what makes that different than an Epic Collection. And I'm working on, I have the first 4 volumes of Tomb of Dracula, the Complete Collection, and volume 5 is supposed to be out this month. And I said, like the Epic Collections, or if you could have a collection that has everything, every appearance, and that's not quite accurate, because like with Iron Man, it's Tales of Suspense, it's Iron Man, there may be a couple other random things, but they're not throwing like all the Avengers stuff in there, because those are in the Avengers Epic Collections. There is a lot of crossover. Sometimes you'll get a Marvel team-up in the Iron Man collection, because he was in an an issue of Marvel Team-Up, but that same issue will also be in Marvel Team-Up Epic Collection, if they have those. Let's take a look. Do they have Marvel Team-Up? Nope, not that I can see. They have Marvel 2-in-1, which was the Things Team-Up book. I have that, 1 volume. But anyway, so maybe that's the difference. Like, Complete Collection is literally... This is the complete everything they've done, and Epic Collections are not that literal. I don't know. But anyway, that's a lot of rambling for a simple question. What character would you want if you could get that complete run in collected editions? So there you go. That is all I have for this week. So, yeah. Oh, if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is ErikSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH 5757. That's all I've got for you this week, so until next week, read more comic books.